Hey, FCA, it's Coach Keenum here along with Coach Sparkman. You know, one of the things that you guys keep asking about is how do I relate to a coach? And I can tell you that if you didn't come out of that background, having somebody can give you a little insight in how to think like a coach will go a long way in helping you relate to coaches that you're going to serve. And Coach Sparkman obviously knows how that happens because he did it for a whole long time, 30 years about, and he can help you think like a coach. So, Coach, tell us what's important when you're trying to build a relationship with a coach.
Well, thank you. One of the things I would tell people, don't stereotype a coach. There's many, many different types of coaches out there, and they all think a little bit different. But I will hit on what is the common ground that we find in most coaches as far as what really affects the way they think. There's coaches in different roles, and so you got to understand a head coach, a new first-year coach, a coordinator. They're all going to have some different expectations put on them. And so to help understand the way a coach thinks, you need to understand the expectations that they're operating under. They've got so many mandates from the state, from their local district, from their local school. They got requirements they're going to deal with that are always kind of in the back of their minds, and they're carrying that weight on them from different things that they have to do. You know, besides winning and losing, besides the expectations the community puts on them, they got all this stuff going on. So to understand that these are weights that these coaches are carrying, it's always there. But one of the things that I would like to talk about is time. You know, coaches are always dealing with time. They got a classroom schedule, they got a bell schedule, they've got a practice schedule, they got a week schedule. You know, coaches know that when Monday starts, if they have a Friday night game, they set the time clock going Monday, knowing that they wanted to kick off on Friday. So time is a huge factor, and there's only so much time. I'm an FCA rep. I walk in to talk to a coach, and he's sitting at his desk, and he may be my best friend. He may love me, but he's got time issues. He's got issues to deal with on time. He's trying to plan a schedule. He's trying to deal with a student athlete that may be having trouble with grades, or he's got problems at home. So he's trying to deal with in 24 hours, he's got all these things thrown at him. So time is a tremendous burden. So when an FCA rep walks in there, you got to be considerate of their time. And if you do that, they'll respect you.
So, you know, if you're looking at a coach during the week, if he's in season or she's in season,
right,
knowing when their conference period is matters, knowing their practice schedule matters. And maybe it's just walk in there and say, Coach, I'm thinking about you. Here's some cookies. You know, here's a Gatorade. You know, we're thinking about you this week. Let me know if I can pray for you. High five them and you're out the door. It may be like that.
Absolutely. And that's a great deal. You know, I would especially say the first time you meet a coach, just go see what you can give them. Go give them something and be quick and respect their time. They'll invite you back, or when you do come back, they'll embrace your matter. So that's perfect. Yeah, you're exactly right.
What do you mean by energy here?
You know, this is getting a thing. Maybe it's because I'm getting older, but there's only so much energy, emotional energy. And we talk about the weight that coaches carry. Whether or not they feel it or not, they're carrying a lot of stuff, and it takes a toll. And there's only so much emotional energy. You know, we always talk about what do you value, and we say the things you value is where you spend your time, your money, and your energy. And coaches have so much energy to go around, and they a lot of times carry guilt from giving so much energy to their team and to their players. They're always a lot of times talking about how much energy they're giving to their students and not to their own families.
Especially if they have small kids.
Exactly. And we've already said their time is limited. So they're already dealing with this issue. And now there's this drainage. They're being drained. And so when you go in as an FCA rep or anybody, you got to understand he's probably had a salesman come in his office. He's probably had a principal come in his office and said, I need you to help me with so-and-so in the classroom. He's had all this stuff. So energy is a huge factor that I think we all need to be respectful of these coaches. And again, like you said, if you walk in and say, Coach, how can I help you? How can I help you? What is it something I can do? And that's tremendous. So understand that coaches are dealing with time issues and energy issues off the bat.
Okay. I did it a long time, and I knew there was fatigue involved, but you didn't have time to be fatigued.
That's right.
But sometimes you get their way, especially in your family, you go home and crash.
That's right.
You may sleep on a Sunday or a Saturday afternoon after a Friday night game, you may sleep for 5 hours.
That's right.
So your time and your energy is something that you got to learn to manage and take care of. The last thing you got down there is trust, Coach.
Last one is trust. I mean, it's not probably last, but they don't know who to trust. There's so many things that go on to a coach. When you walk in their office, especially if they don't know you, they don't know if they can trust you. And it's going to take several encounters. That coach that you walk in and meet 4 weeks ago may not be the same guy that you walk in and see 4 weeks later. He may be better. She may be better. It might be a situation because over time, they'll learn to either trust you or they won't learn to trust you. And so how much they open up to you, how much they're inviting you into their program, into their world, it's a lot has to do with trust. And a lot of that trust is built on presence and what you're giving to them.
When you were talking about that, I was thinking, if you could walk into that office with some situational awareness, in other words, are they playing? Are they in season?
Right.
When's their ball game? What's their record?
That's right.
How things are going, and is that creating pressure around them?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you talk about from week 1 to week 4, how things have
Right.
changed, it's a whole lot different if you're 4-0 and if you're 0-4.
Right.
The reaction you may get
Yeah.
there because it's affected all these other things as well. So if you had to go and tell a young staff person, these are great things. What's the number one thing you'd say? You got to remember this when you're trying to think like a coach and relate to a coach and help them and be able to serve a coach. What would you say would be number one in your mind?
I think number one is ask them how you can serve them. How can I serve you? Don't try to take anything from them. Ask how you can serve them. How can I help you, Coach? What can I do for you, Coach? Can I pray with you?
Yeah.
Coach, is there something I can help you do? And I think if they know that you're there to serve them, I think it's the most valuable thing that they could do.
I think saying it like this, have no agenda other than what can I do to help? Because that's what they deal with. Somebody's always got an agenda that walks in their office. And if you can be that one person that has no agenda other than them and helping them, then you've got a chance to have a friend forever.
That's right.
Coach, thank you for your wisdom and your insight. God bless you, FCA. We hope this helps you as you learn to think and relate to coaches.